go away. And that's it. Give me just a second. All right, look at that. Now it's working. So again, if you want to download this thing, go to the Epic Store, not the Unreal Engine, but the Epic Store, and it's going to be featured right there. And so, you know, it is an add-on for Fortnite, but even though it's an add-on for Fortnite, it's its own game, right? And as you can see, it's already running. If you install it, and maybe this is worth talking, it is only 3 gigabytes size. So what's going on here, right? It's a very streamlined version of Unreal Engine. It's very light. You know, those 3 gigabytes download like in a jiffy, right? And once you have there, you can create a desktop shortcut, or you can always, you know, turn on the library. I mean, go to your library and start it from right there, right? So that is the fun part, right? So now then you need to create a new, let me go and do it. Let me open a project and let me create a new project, right? Because this one was already, oh my God, I can't believe it. All right, so I'm going to create another one. This is going to be the, again, you have the island templates, right? Or if you really want to, you know, check this one out on a more professional way, you can go and test the feature examples. I test a couple of these, the animation one, so you can go here and start playing with things already done in a project. And it's going to have its own speciality, as you see here. But for now, we're just going to create a template island, and I'm going to select this blank one, and this is going to be known as the for reals. Yeah, this one is for reals, people. Now you can see what I'm doing. I'm such a fool. This is the revision control thing that I was talking about. You can turn it on or off. For now, we're going to keep it off. On our next stream, it's going to be on. Right, but yeah, and you're going to have to create a team and invite people to it so they can, you know, get to your project, and everybody's going to be working on the same project as if you had Perforce, but without Perforce. Yeah, I said it there on your face, you Perforce fanboy. Yeah, that's it. No more Perforce. No, I mean, Perforce is going to be there for a while now until, you know, this thing trickles down to Unreal Engine 5. And I'm guessing like this is going to be expensive to run. And it might even be Perforce under the hood. It doesn't say anywhere here that that's the thing. But yeah, there is some sort of revision control run by Epic. And you connect to that thing and they're paying for it. So yeah, that's how it works. But for now, let's create this blank project, and I have a name, I have a location for it, and that's it. Let's simply go and create. And I'm not going to save anything from this one. This one was a complete dot, really. And I'm sorry again for that. I can't believe that I do have a monitor on my side, and I didn't use it to check out the feed. But yeah, that's it. And all right, let's start again and check out your messages. There is someone that falls asleep. I can't blame you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just being myself. You know how I am. And I'm on the Black Island. That is offensive. No, I mean, that's cool. Fate-based game. To respond to comments on the right path YouTube videos. What? All right. Yeah, I'm just going to have to, yeah, maybe not use this video at all. It doesn't matter. I just want to be here for you to, you know, learn how to do all these kind of things. All right. That's good. Now that everybody's here and we can, you know, look what we're doing. This is it. This is Unreal Engine 5. No, this is UEFN. It's almost the same thing. It's a little bit different. It's cooler. You know, it's for younger people. It's a lot linear. It's like a disassembly, you know, version of Unreal Engine. And it's Unreal Engine 5.11, not 5. dot two for some weird reason, but it is what it is. So here we are. The viewport, the outliner, the details, the content browser, everything is, as usual, whatever, it is in Unreal Engine 5. But there are a couple of differences here. And that was what we were just talking a minute ago when I was playing a complete fool. And that's it. That is that you have your selection mode, landscape mode, no foliage mode for some weird reason. Maybe they're preparing something new there. I'm really hopeful for that one. We have the modeling tools and animation tools. So let's go to the modeling tools so you can watch what I was talking about. And this is it. We have, new categories for the full thing, and you can display them. And most importantly, we can, excuse me, we are going to be able to create favorites. So, for example, let's create this little box, right? Let's put it right there. And let's click accept. And I have a path created for everything that we're going to be creating. And that's it. And now if I want to do things like move the pivot, right? I go to the transform category and there is the edit pivot. And if I really want it, I can, right click on it and add it to the favorites. And this is how you now go to favorites, and only, you're going to watch out for the things that you use more constantly. This is amazing, right? So this gives me a lot of hopes, because one of the horrible things of working with the Unreal Engine modeling tools is that it was hard to have everything in just one view, right? Now this makes sense, right? We have like creating shape through paths, or extruding, or revolving. We can do all the transform operations. We have the forming, like sculpting. We have like poly editing, triangle editing. We have mesh operations. Somehow we don't have booleans, but yeah, it is what it is. Vox operation. This one is really good. This is the one that I was trying to show you. And this works like a boolean, but is a little bit more interesting. So you can create whatever shape that you have in mind, right? And at some point you want to bake it right into only one thing. So you could do like the go to the meshups and do a union, right? But you have another way of doing this, and that is using the Vox wrap, because this may be comprised of many different shapes that might have different topology or different polygon distributions, and you want to have like a new thing with equally distribute amount of vertices and polygons into it. Well, you go here and you go Vox wrap, and that's it. Now you have a version of this thing in only one wrap, shape, like it is. And this thing, you can add more vertex counts. Sadly, it won't show you here the actual finish wireframe, but it's good. Now I can click accept, and this is now a new model that is going to have its own topology all around. If you go lead and we go wireframe, you can check it out. This is the topology that we get. And here is where I was talking about nanite, right? And I was like, is this nanite or is not nanite? If you go right to models and I see this model here and I right click on it, there is no nanite mentioned here. Even if you double click and open it up, there is no nanite here in the details. So I was worried like, oh, they are not still working with nanite with this thing, but they are. Because if you go to lit and you go to nanite visualization, you can go overview, and here it is. You have nanite, for everything that you create from the modeling tools, which is great. That box that I have right there, it's also a nanite. So that is amazingly good. So nanite is like the norm here, right? But not always. I'm going to show you very soon that it might not be the thing. But Yeah, that's it. So we also have the animation part, and we might go through animation at a later stream because this thing has everything: cameras, sequencer, control rig, character animation assets, and you're going to be able to be blending animations and bake into control rig and doing all that stuff. But that is on its own, it's whole day, right, of learning. Right now, we want to go through the basics, all right? And that means, learning to use not only, the modeling tools, but starting checking out what epics bring to the table, right? And let's check it out. So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to get everything that I have here. I'm going to right click it and move it to a folder to have everything well organized. And this thing is going to be the world. And we might take a little bit of a look of what is in here, but it's really, really simple, right? There are a couple of ground planes and that's everywhere. Then you have this island setting, and this island setting is required for you to be able to play the experience in Fortnite, all right? So if you don't have this, you're going to be able to visit it, but you're not going to be able to play it. So, and this thing here has like all the information of the actual experience. So you can say here, all right, the max players, the type of voice chat that you can use, the team size, and ever. So this is like the actual game template, right here. And you have the level bounds, which are great because you don't want people to go over, the side and woo, right? And sorry. Oh my God! Just by start talking, all the fluids, start running from my nose and my brain. Right. So, and you have, two spawn paths. So you and a friend can start, because there are two teams in the by default in the island settings, right? You have two team spawners, and you have the world data layers and the world partition minimap, meaning that this is a world partition game right out of the gate. So for all of you that told me this is too complex, you should stick in with levels and stuff, no, world building, world partition is the future for sure. So forget about working with levels, forget about working with nested levels and that sort of nonsense. This is the future. Now, that being said, there is a thing that is missing here that I'm really concerned because, working with world partition means that you are, limited in terms of the things that you can, put inside, right, your level. And in Unreal Engine 5, we have pack level instances. And I think, those are going to be renamed here because at some point I believe I heard something saying that they're going to be called mega assemblies. But yeah, if I drop, this thing right here, and I right click on it, there is no level here, so I cannot create a level instance out of this. So yeah, there is no way I can. You can create levels, that's for sure, right? I can come here and right click and create a new empty level. But if I drag that level and try to set it in, there is no way of doing that. So I'm concerned about that because, missing, now that we miss the level workflow because we don't have a level window here because, this is a world partition world, we're not going to be able to put levels into levels, which is a shame. And I believe this should be fixed like as soon as possible because it's the greatest thing, after white breath, I mean. So yeah, that's it. And what else? All right, let's check out another things from here. So you have project instead of quickly add to the project. It's just, the same. We have like shapes. We have some, things that we can. Oh, sorry. It's the quickly add to the project, the one that I was talking about. So we have like basic things like actors, point lights, cinematics, etc. And just give me just a second. All right, I'm back. Sure. So, and we have this thing called project here, and that is just the same as going here and add a new level, a new project, and there are a couple of things here, and this is how I learn to create my team and or use an existing team for this project. So this we might for sure we're going to be talking about this creator portal in our next stream for sure. So yeah, another thing is the verse. I have not even touched this thing, right? I really want to sit down and read up a bunch of the documentation of this thing for sure. All right, someone is saying here that he sees the nanite option. Really? All right. Cute. I believe you are in 5.2. I'm in UEFN. Are you sure that you can see the nanite option in UEFN? All right. So, yeah, right. You can check my page on my channel. Sure. You have black screen. Please read the comments. That was there. All right. All right. In the detail window. Let me check that out. So if I drop this and search here for nanite, I don't see it. There is this thing, but it's not, the actual, convert to nanite. Or if I right click, I don't see it. You see, you maybe here, build settings. Well, maybe I don't see it here, but yeah, sure, no worries. Either way, let me show you a thing that is not nanite here, and that is what Epic brings to the table here and what they are allowing us to use, right? And because this is a Fortnite island, we are sure that we're going to find everything that we can find in the in the Fortnite creative, and it is right here. So if you go to your source panel and you switch from this content to the Fortnite content, you're going to be able to find out that there are a couple of things here that are going to be very recognizable. For example, prefabs. And if you get into prefab, we can go to, I don't know, Desert Fortress, and you're going to find a full prefab here. Now, that being said, it is not the same as, and this is where I say that things from creative should start trickling down to Unreal Engine 5. So this is the full thing. Inside Fortnite, you have the ability to, bring the whole thing and bring it in, right? Like I'm doing it right now, and it should fairly soon. And there it is. All right, so you can see that you have the full prefab here already working. And I can see right there that this is the nanite version because you have, those wonderful, bricks, coming out of the thing. Maybe it's the nanite version. Let me just check this one out. There you go. This thing is not nanite. So this have me completely baffled. Like they said in the thing that they were using nanite for Fortnite, but for Island, I don't believe they are letting us use the nanite version of these things, or at least however it is being cooked, because that is the word of the day. What means cook? Well, if you try to double click on this thing, it will tell you fail to load the asset. You cannot edit things that are already cooked. And if you hover over it, it will tell you that it is a read-only. And it makes sense, right? Because they don't want you to maybe, I don't know, like changing the shape of some things that are recognizable in, that are some sort of trademark, right, of Epic. So they let us play with it. they let us, create more of them if we need so. I duplicated you and you didn't duplicate. All right, and they come, within this weird package, right? And I'm really baffled why they didn't use. So this looks like a level instance, but it's not a level instance because first of all, there is no way of getting inside it for editing. If you try to edit, it won't take you anywhere. But at the same time, if I grab it and duplicate this thing, it will duplicate like the parent thing, but not the full thing. All right, duplicate. So yeah, it just duplicated this, the parent transform, but not the full thing. So it's a little bit weird, right? The actual position of the pivot of the thing is always in a wrong place. So I don't know what to think about these things. Either way, those are the prefabs, but you have access to all the separate, things in meshes, not in meshes. Another thing that is hard here is that I have not been able to, because if you try to search for static meshes, there's just a couple of those right here, right? So so to get to things like prefabs, I don't know if there is particular, let me search here for prefab. No, there are still no filters for things, for whatever this is, because if you ask me, I don't know. It has a green, border to it, but it doesn't tell you what it is, right? It says is fourth play set item definition, but it is not a blueprint. It is not a group. It is not a level instance. So this is like a private class thing that you cannot, open or alter it at any ways. And it is really not ready for UEFN because there is no way of you going here and doing some sort of search. Still, I'm guessing like you are going to be able to do things like maybe can I create no, if I right click on it, it won't even allow me to add it to a collection. And that is sad because, that is the bread and butter of using, or preparing your day's work in content browser. You want to have like a favorite, or you want to have like a collection of things, because you don't want to go through this thing, right? And opening, maybe I'm going to be lucky enough and open the thing. So for example, props, and I go, to this same one that is a desert fortress. And yeah, I have each and every, piece that is inside this thing. But yeah, I may want to create my own, right, folder with all those things or the things that I'm working with. But yeah, it is what it is. In terms of, working and collaborating with this thing, I'm just going to say for now, without having to go through the source control and everything, that someone can be working with you from Fortnite Creative, and you can be working from here without having to use any sort of revision control, right? And let me show you how that is. So, and that way I'm going to show you how to do, a couple of the things that you cannot do from here. And that means that we can go and launch the session. It's going to ask me to save everything for sure. And let's wait a little bit because this might take a little bit of time. So let me check Cute Monkeys in detail window, click on object. What is a detail window? Click on object and nanite settings. Huh. All right, I may check that later. I don't see it. But, all right, it says here, project is not valid. See message log, failed to validate for upload. So maybe it's because this thing is not connected to revision control, and that's why I cannot launch a session. Let me try it one more time and see if this works. Preparing for upload. No, it's not working. So that might be because I'm not using the revision control, and I don't know if after you created your thing, if that thing is going to work that way. Anyways, let me just try and go the other way around. So let me go from this side. Let me open up Fortnite because this is an island, right? In Fortnite. It is not a normal island. It will tell, inside Fortnite that is an UEFN type of island. So let me see if going the other way, I can get into this thing. If I can't, I will jump, just to showcase the one that has revision control on. But we can keep up, right? Looking at this thing. And one of the other things that Epic brings to the table, along with, everything that you can find inside Fortnite, the game, right? So every weapon, every, jump pad, everything but the characters are here for you to start, world building with them, right? You're going to be able to drop them and figure out a way to, rotate them. And they do come in their own, even though it is a group or some sort of group, you can pick, each and individual thing, and you can, move them and create your own thing out of them, right? But you cannot change each and every one of these props. They are, protected in that way. For example, you can see that there are devices here that will have sound and will have, lights on it. And this is how they call blueprints devices, which is a cool name. But yeah, this is it. What is this? A mushroom? All right, so this thing is open. Let me give a little bit of sound to this just because, it may be important. Let me close, and I can change from Battle Royale to Creative. And here I am in Creative, and I'm going to hit play. And let me see what happens if at the hub I select this island and I try to jump in. All right, while I'm doing that, I'm going back here and I'm going to keep showcasing a couple of things. All right, come on, Unreal. All right, so what else does Unreal allow us to play with? And that is what is called the Fab, right? And the Fab is the new bridge, and it's the Quixel bridge that you can use from within UEFN. And if you go here, you can see that there is no Quixel bridge here, but there is the Fab, and you can open it up, and it is in some fashion like a Quixel bridge. But there are things here that are paid, right? And that is interesting, right? Because they were saying that, all the money will come from the objects that we can sell on the Fortnite store. But at the same time, there are a couple of things here that are paid. And it might be, and I'm going to think that this was created by someone else, not, Epic, right? It doesn't say it here. All right, yeah, it says here is fresh cam. So yeah, I believe it's completely fair that, again, this is not money that is going through Epic, but through content creators. So someone who is very savvy with Blender or with Maya created all this stuff and Substance Painter, and now they are selling it as a pack. And I see it's a very cheap pack, like $19 for this full medieval thing. How many pieces does this thing has? Does it say it somewhere? Pack contents 119 assets for, it's like $1 an asset. All right, this is cheap. Now, that being said, not everything is paid here. You can also search for things, let's say base pricing, free, and that's it. Now everything that is free in the Fab right now, it's going to be displayed here. And good. So now you can, check things, and you can search also for things that are just free. Let me search for chest, because I want to find a chest that I was playing earlier with. And is, which one? This one, maybe? I'm guessing any will do, because I want to show you one thing. So I'm going to select it, and it's here. And yeah. I know how to use this thing. And down here, it will say this asset does not contain. No, this is not the one. Here. Optimized for Fortnite vertex material and texture budget. Let's see what that means. So I'm going to add it to my content browser, right? And you can see that you can add it as a reference asset, or you can add it as a modifiable Unreal Engine asset. And this is, so for example, the reference assets are the ones that we're seeing from Epic, from Fortnite. But this one, it will allow you to have the reference asset, which is great if you are sharing your work with a team, because as a reference asset, they will have the same asset and they won't need to download it. All right. But if you download it, or if you add it to your content browser as a modifiable Unreal Engine asset, everybody who has to work with you will have to do the exchange and the synchronization of those assets. All right. That's the main difference. That's cool. Now let's close this and go here. And I'm going to go here to my for Reels content, and so it's not here. What just happened? So let me go to the fab again and search for chest again. Today is like Groundhog Day. All right, there it is. Add it to the content browser. Come on, do it. Will you? Oh my God, what is happening? Oh, I know, Fortnite is running, and that might be eating. So let me do this test like right now and see if this thing is going to work or not. All right, come on. All right, come on. I can't believe that this thing is running like this just because I'm streaming. All right, this might not. So I'm going to have to start streaming from another computer for sure if I'm going to stream this kind of content. So forget about it. Let me Alt F4 out of here. Can I? Yeah, that's it. So now, yeah, everything is back to normal. All right, now can you please add this thing to my content on Reels? Come on. Is it already there? It is not. So what gives? Come on. Let me search for another one, maybe. One that is for free, please. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test the fact that they said that this thing works exactly as Quixel. And I'm going to drag it and drop it here. Will that work? Oh, it does. So this works, but added to the content browser didn't. All right, cool. So this is here. So what could be the thing, right, about this thing? Well, if you go really near to it, is very, very low on quality. Like the textures are, to say the least, awful. All right, they are cool. They say that they are prepared for Fortnite, and this is where worlds are going to start clashing. All right, we are talking about people who game for a living, right, or game for fun, and they don't want to be bothered by something that run less than 60 frames per second, right? And then we are on this side, knowing that we create, cinematic experiences that we really don't care if they run, at 60 frames per second. At least if we are not playing it on a LED wall. But still, this thing might be, I don't know. And it's not just this one. Like I can start bringing things from the fab, right? And let me search for anything. So you can see that there are not only, the chests that are the ones, being a little bit low on the quality size. So let me search for free assets and let me grab, I don't know, maybe this looks like a very high detail thing. So let me grab it and put it there. And let me open it up and see if this one also has the optimized for Fortnite vertex materials and texture budget. Now let's go here and let's check it out. And yep, I mean, come on. Well, I mean, if this thing is up there, right, and I'm running with my character like full speed, right, and I'm just, doing this might work. But in our world, the world that we live in terms of working for Unreal, for a director, producer, or something like that, these will not fly. Like, this is not on par with what we can get in the Quixel library. But again, this might change, in the near future, meaning that this is alpha fab. So it has a bunch of things that they want to make sure that are going to run well in everybody's computer, but maybe very soon we're going to find out that, whatever happens to run Fortnite might not be enough to run whatever we can start creating in those islands, because this is one thing, right? Using whatever comes from, the Fortnite front or the Fab front from up here. But nowadays with UEFN, we can also bring things from outside. And that is going to be like the bomb, right? Because now I know that I can bring things with a lot of details into them, right? So let's do it. Why not? So let's go here and let's, use and give credits, of course, something, from Sketchfab. So right now in the Sketchfab, I went and searched this thing. Come on. So it's staff picks, so the best of the best, and then I hit downloadable. So everything here, it should be downloadable and very good. But at the same time, it might not be for free. So we might need to, search a little bit. This one is not for free. Let me get something that has a very nice quality. And I know which one could be. So this thing here. So this one was done by Sylvia. This is a very old, like I'm seeing this thing here for a very long time. It's a very nice model. And it's gaming, maybe AAA gaming. Quality. So you really need to get really near to see the stitches in this thing. But on a medium distance, this is for realistic, at any point, right? So let's download this thing and see how it works. All right. So the first thing that I noticed was that, all right, I'm watching lately, most of the things that I can get from Sketchfab won't have FBX, and that's a little bit suspicious, but let's not, go off the rails here. But we do have the GLTF, and I know that the UEFN works with GLTF, so let's give it a try. Let's download this thing, and yep, that is going to be good enough. And very soon it's going to be inside my download folder. So let's go there. It's inside zip, and I can simply unzip it like this, extract, and here it is. I have the scene GLTF right here, and all I need to do is go to UEFN, open up this thing, go to my for reals contents, open up my models thing, and just to make everything a little bit organized, I'm going to say that this is the Sony blah 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 something, not affiliated by any means, and drag my scene GLTF, drop it here, and look at this. We have the new interchange pipeline configuration, right? This is the new importing way for everything that is not FBX, and these things should start working for mainly everything like animations, materials, skeletal meshes. This is like the new consolidated way of bringing things inside the engine. This thing is inside Unreal Engine 5, if you want to know. So, yep. So that's it. I'm going to simply hit import and let's wait a little bit. And very soon we should have a model that is a lot better than this for sure. And let me show you what I mean by that. So that's it. Now, this thing is, it is a static mesh. So in this full mesh, I'm going to simply go here. And I'm guessing that this thing comes in very different pieces, and that's okay. Let me grab everything and drop it there. And I believe it's massive. And yeah, it is massive. So I'm going to start working it out with my modeling tools. The first thing I want to do is to merge all the different pieces. I don't want to have, so many pieces, running around. And so I'm going to transform. No, it is mesh operations. And I'm going to union it, but I can also merge it. So what should I want to do? Let me merge it. So this will create a new object and it's going to be inside models. No, can you? There should be here the current folder thing that is present in Unreal Engine 5. So that's it. Now I'm going to have one mesh with everything in. And I believe that's the thing. So let me go up here, close everything. And yeah, it is called combine, which is good. Now I can come here and change the name to let's give it the proper name, right? It is the Sunny fractal. And yeah, Jackal, I mean. So we give full credit for this thing. We cannot use spaces. We cannot use special symbols, and that's it. Now I can, take all these, delete it, or not, because I believe this one is already combined. That's good. And yeah, what I can delete is all this, because I don't want all those different pieces. The next thing I want to do is to, put the pivot of this thing at the bottom and bring it down. And if I need some sort of reference to, the size of an actual human, I want to put this right beside my thing. And this is a human. This is a radio. This is a big radio, right? So I want to make sure that this thing has an appropriate somehow, right? Sure, it should be a little bit smaller, maybe. Not that small, like there. That's a radio that a human can use, right? And that's it. Now, I changed the size here and I want this to be the permanent size of this thing. Well, I can go to transform and bake the transform. And then this 0.06 something something is going to become 1. And now this is the new full size of this Sony thing. And that's how easy you can bring stuff to Unreal for Fortnite. And this, as I told you, for sure is a lot much, detail that whatever you can find either in the fab for now or forever in Fortnite, because Fortnite is going to continue evolving and doing its own thing. And they want to be run by the most, for the, the greatest amount of people. And that means, running this thing with, very low poly stuff with very low quality, stylized, right? But now with this, we have the availability of doing this in a non-stylized way. This might mean, in the near future, there are going to be some creative islands that are not going to be fully compatible with, there are going to be people that can run Fortnite, but won't be able to run a particular island, right? Because it's going to be filled with things like this, that even though there are for games, there are not stylized in the sense of, chipping out in terms of the optimization, or the other way around, going overboard with the optimization like Fortnite is, right? because again, Fortnite not only runs on PC but also runs in consoles, and God forbids, mobiles, right? So they really need to have something really, 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 and the effort of doing something like that must be massive. But again, I really won't appreciate something like this on a PC experience, for at least for what I want to do, right? In an island. And I know what, many of the people that follows me that know how to work with Unreal, this might not be, all right, this might be like a good non-hero object. That thing could be there and I wouldn't care. But yeah, this thing might cross the threshold in my quality boundaries. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. So yeah, the fab is going to be great. And as soon as we start getting things from the actual Quixel library, the better. Anyways, they said that the fab is going to be the place where we could start, having, our own models. So if you start, creating your own models, you should be able to, upload them to Sketchfab or the fab, and you're going to have your own library there, and that library is going to be able to be shared among your friends. So that is going to be the start of another different industry, right? Of people, having those shared libraries, that work together, to create whatever you want, right? So we are going to be the guys who knows how to work in Unreal. And then we're going to have, the coders that are going to be working in Verse. Then we are going to have the people who are doing the actual, creative stuff and in creative inside Fortnite. And for sure, we're going to have modelers and, texturers that are going to be creating, these things in the near future. So yeah, Economy 2.0, as they were talking yesterday, is big. This is a new market that just opens today. And I know that it might sound silly, right? Because this is Fortnite. This is a bunch of people. This is 70 million people and counting who have an account inside Fortnite. So yeah, I mean, this is serious, right? If you really want to take this serious, I know that you're not going to be wrong about it. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And I think this is the stream for today. I think I went an hour, so it's not that bad. Counting that 15 minutes I was talking with a blank screen like a fool that I am. But I'm going to have to download this video and, edit it and upload it as a video. It might not be a bad thing to do that. Anyways, so yeah. Why not? Why not? Oh, Andres, you just got here. Well, you're going to have to see the resubmission of the video. But I believe it was fun. Let me just showcase a little bit, as an entry plate, an entry dish of what's coming in our next stream, right? So let me go File and Open New Project, and I'm going to open up this one that has the USB logo. I don't know why. Well, this thing is revision control, right? So that's it. Let's hit open. And there are a bunch of things that need to be saved. I'm going to save them just because, this is the 4 wheels. And very soon you're going to see, this is the same thing. I have not started to, put things together into any island. I'm just testing, seeing that everything, is working well. And come on. All right, this might be the first time this thing crashes, because when it crashes, it tends to do this, to stay like frozen and not doing anything. So I might crash it and restart it, because what I have is just, a an empty island, so it shouldn't take this long to turn on by any means. So let me go here and let me go Unreal Engine for Fortnite, and very soon that thing is going to appear. So again, let me just remind you all that I, use Sylvia model, and let's see what else Sylvia got here. Yeah, amazing things. Yeah. Oh, since 2022, really? I believe that I saw these, a couple of years ago, but yeah, that is good. So what is this? Was this model or photogrammetry? Oh, this thing is model and is very nicely modeled. I don't think this is a photogrammetry because it's too clean. Like, to get these crevices inside here with photogrammetry, there's no amount of cleaning. So this is a very nice asset for sure. Yep. All right, let's see. Are we here? We are here. Let's click done and let's open up my project, the one that should be connected to the revision control. And let me show you how this thing is working. So for starters, I want to say that this is already connected to revision control and you cannot disconnect it. So that means you're in trouble. That is because you're not going to be able to work solo on this thing. You're always going to have to be connected to the revision control, right? And that means that, let me just, launch the session so you see what I mean. So the session is the same for, whomever of you who have worked with multi-editor, multi-user editor inside Unreal Engine. Everybody knows that when you're working with multi-user editor, you should turn off revision control. And that is because if I move something, that thing is going to move on your side, right? Automatically, right? And that means that my revision control is going to fire up a check-in and your revision control is going to fire up a check-in. And yeah, things are going to start, downhill from there. So there are a couple of ways, to work around it. And that means that every time that you are working with, this connection, you should not, be working on Fortnite and in UEFN at the same time on the same machine, because then you're going to start creating conflicts everywhere. Like I was working with Franco yesterday, and yeah, it was fun, but we saw a bunch of issues, related to that. Him moving things and maybe me destroying things. Like we were testing, like, what if I destroy this thing in UEFN? Do you see it? Yes. And do you see it in Fortnite? Yes. But now I need to check this thing. And I was like, I do need to check things and I have not moved anything. So, right, who goes first? Let me do it, right? And then he had a conflict. Like I couldn't because the thing was shaken by him. It was horrible at some point. So we realized very soon that you should not be doing exactly this, what I'm doing right now. I should not be opening the island with Fortnite connected to the revision control, with UEFN connected to the revision control, because then you're going to start having a couple of issues. Maybe not alone, but when you're working with people, then it's going to be an issue. If Fortnite Creative becomes the multi-user editor, then you're going to have issues. And that's it. Now I'm right here inside Fortnite, and I'm watching, the same thing that I'm watching here. And I could let's go and open cell phone. All right, open my cell phone. Come on, there it is. And now I can hit tab and let's create something like this village town hall, right? Why not? Now I can, and this is the thing that I was telling you. These are the prefabs, the same ones that we will have in UEFN. But here you can search. You have categories for the thing, and it's a little bit better in some ways. And you can also open up, the prefab and then see what it is comprised, and you can take, individual things from that prefab. And this is a fun way of working with content. The way that is working right now with UEFN might not be the best experience ever. So I'm going to create this thing in Fortnite, right? And now if I go to UEFN, I should be able to churn, and there it is. There is this thing right there, just created, right? And I can, maybe take this little tree and duplicate it, and I want to put it around there, and then I can go back to Fortnite, and now I have that duplicate there. So yeah, it's like working right with different peoples at the same time. I can start putting trees like everywhere. Like, let me show you what is the foliage tool in Fortnite is doing this. Right, so I did a bunch of things. If I now go here and I turn around, you are going to see that, yeah, there is everything. Now, it might happen that someone, else joined the island, because as you see, this thing is already synchronized. Like whatever I see here, I see it here. But then here I have these push changes, which is weird because why should I put push changes if, this thing, it's already synchronized? Like it makes no sense, right? In that. But if someone else, connects to the island, it might have a little bit of a difference, right? And then you must, push changes, and that will kick you out from the session in Fortnite and then invite you in again. It's a little bit silly, but this could work as it is, without any issues. The other thing around is that if someone else joins through UEFN, if I don't check in those changes, he won't see this, right? He will see it if he comes from the Fortnite side, but not from the UEFN side. So yeah, this is weird. We should sit down with calm, with a bunch of people connected to the island, and start, doing this. So let me know if you're interested in, forming part of this crew for the next, for our next stream. All right. And let's try not to be like 1,000 people. I know we're never going to get to 1,000 people, but yeah, I mean, like 10 people are going to be too much, right? Let's try to keep it 5 people, right? So let me know in the comments if you want to, participate in our next stream. I'm going to announce it with enough time so you can, prepare. And the first 5 people and we'll get in. Let's say that, all right? Cool. So that's it, all right? I'm going to be stopping now. So that means that I must say, the old saying, be good. I love you all, and I will catch you on the next one with a good screen and not a bad screen, a black screen, right? So yeah, bye. Chao, chao. No, no, no se preocupe.